Hello everyone, this is Jibu for your third video on how to use the character sheet on API for Earthdawn in roll20. This is a video that I intend for players to show them how to make their character evolution, how to add legend points, make changes to their character, and so on. So we will restart from our Gerald, the Honorable Thief, where I have a typo for an honorable, and we will start from him. And if you remember, if you go to the legend section here, this is a section where you have the tracking of the transactions you do with your character. Transactions can be buying some stuff with silver, what happened during creation with equipment, but it can be also receiving legend awards or spending legends. So here the character has just been created, so he has his career legend points, the total of legend points he has earned overall is 0, and his current is 0 too. So basic here is to make transactions. So you can make transactions for gain or for spending. This is the normal stuff, and decrease and refund are mostly when you want to correct things. If you have added legend and you want to decrease, it will affect differently than when you spend. Decrease will also decrease your career, where spend will only decrease your current. So let's say it's your first adventure, your GM is generous, he gave you 2,000 legend points and 500 silver, and it's your first award, and you just now post this transaction, and you see that you gain this, you have it in your career, but you have it also in your current. Very interesting concept here, very important concept here is the calculated here you see is read-only. This is one that is more or less a checksum. The sheet is taking everything you spent, everything you have, all the ranks, all the spells, and so on, everything that costs legend points, calculate the theoretical costs from it, discounts it from your career, and says how much you should have. So this ensures that everything is set correctly and can be used to audit your character. The transactional here you can edit because it's something that, in fact, every time you make a change, you will actually spend the legend point for this change. So, and this is tracked automatically by the system too, but every time there is a change. So for example, if I go in my talents section, I set it in edit. This icon is important to edit. And I began to make changes. For example, I want two ranks now in versatility. As long as I'm in, the change is not recorded, but as soon as I will click out of the input field, it will take the change and see, it detects that 2 ranks of versatility costs 300. My calculated is now 1,700 because the rank is effective. My transactional is still 2,000 because I didn't accept the transaction. I didn't post the transaction. If I go in the legends, if I look 2,000 now, if I post, now the transaction is 1,700. I've actually accepted. You could ignore if something is for free, but bear in mind that ignoring doesn't revert the change that originated the transaction. It just ignores, doesn't record it in the bookkeeping. So I want to show, and I took versatility on purpose because I want to show also what's happening, how you can create your own lines of talent. And versatility is a good example because you take something that is not from your discipline. There are different ways to do this. Here is a button to create a line. But if you have the compendium, it's the easiest. With the compendium, you can just drag and drop. So let's say that what you want to learn via versatility is sprint. You search for sprint here, take the talent sprint, drag and drop, and now sprint is here. But we have to be very careful that sprint, that we have to look at the origin. This is what tells to the system where you learned this talent from. On every time you create a new line, it will be novice from your first discipline. But it's not right. You learned it through versatility. So you have to go to versatility novice here and set it. And now that you set it, you see that you have 1 out of 2 talents of versatility. You know 1 talent through versatility while you have a rank 2. So this is one way you can add a line via the compendium. You can also add a line by just from the drop down here, choosing the name of the talent, and it will fill out directly. So you see, I've used battle shout, I've created it, and once again, I would have to put it as a versatility novice. Okay, this is a second way that you can create a talent, a skill or knack or whatever. There's a third way, and I'll remove battle shots to go for this third way. The third way is import. Import, you will actually go and you will take in the PDF, the full text of the PDF, and you will copy this text, and in the small text import here, you will paste this text. And so that you really see that it's taking not from the database, but from what we copied here, I will just add, this is a test. When I will click out, you see that Mystic Aim now has been imported, perception, but this has not been found from the database. This has been found from what I pasted, and you can see it because here in my comment, I have this is a test. This is the version that I took from the books. So if, for example, you had the books in another language, or if you don't have the compendium, you could use this to import. So you can continue after this to increase your ranks and spend your legend point and see what's happening now. You see this abnormal number of talents. This is what I was telling you, that Mystic Aims that I added, I didn't set it properly as versatility. So I'll put it back as versatility. And you see here this 4 of 5 at rank 2. This is my requirements for the circle up. So if I continue to set to increase my talents, it's telling me now I'm ready for the next circle, which is good. So I'll go now back to my overview where the circles are set, and I'm able to edit, increase my circle. The button to add talents appeared again. He recorded that, hey, you have to pay for this circle up. And I can add my talents. And you see now that I added talents, disarm trap, which is a circle 2 thief, appeared. And I could, for example, choose surprise strike. And see now, when I go back to talents, in my summary, I have 6 novice talents and 2 talent options. Surprise strike was created with the talent option. I'll put a few ranks in surprise strike, and I'll show you something interesting with surprise strike. I'll post all of this. You'll see that I have 500 legend points left calculated and 500 left from the transaction because I did it right. And I'll show you something that is very important as a concept, which are links. Links are a way to inherit from another ability to inherit the rank of this other ability. You know that surprise strike is a damage substitution. You will use, when you calculate your damage, you will use your step 7 surprise strike instead of your step 5 strength. A way to do this is to actually add to surprise strike your weapon base damage rank. This will be done via links. So if you go in the parameters of a talent in advanced, here you have links and you can create a link. I'll create a link from surprise strike to my weapon that I chose earlier and which is my short sword. And now that I create this link, you see this +4? This is the step 4, the rank 4 of my short sword damage. If I have a short sword of 5 and I go back here, I have now a +5. So now I will be able to use my surprise strike step, 5 for my short sword, 2 for the rank, total 7, plus my strength 12. And this is something that is costing me 1 strain, and where I can spend karma, I can use this as my damage as my damage roll. Here you see here, each time it's telling you for a certain ability what's its type. Is it an action? Is it an attack? Is it a damage? So that it know what modifiers to apply. Well, now it knows that surprise strike is a damage. You could do the other way around and create a dummy weapon that is surprise short sword and link it the other way around. That's two possibilities that exist. A last interesting thing that I would like to show on maintaining your character are knacks. You know that there are thousands of different knacks, and it's very difficult to browse in the book and know what knacks you can actually learn. A very interesting thing here is this when you put the knack tab in edit, and when you tell him, I want to see the knack report with the current ranks and circle for my character, I'll use, because I have the compendium, I use the compendium version of the report, and I generate this report. And you see what it's telling me? It's telling me, hey, with the ranks and talents you have, there are 2 knacks that you can actually learn. You meet the requirements. Leap reading from awareness and aim to injure from melee weapons. I could open the description of it, or I could just add it. And if I add leap reading, you see that there is a small icon here for a link. It automatically created a link. If I look in my advanced, I have a link to awareness, so that it's using the rank of awareness for the knack. So you see here now I have a knack with awareness linked to it. The last thing I'd like to show you about maintenance of character is in equipments, it's very common to have blood charms. Blood charms are managed in the equipment tab, but they're actually hidden because at the beginning, maybe your character doesn't have one. So clicking the small cog here, you can make appear several things: the container management, the blood magics, enchanting, mounts, lifestyle. I'll just show the blood magic. And now that I have a blood magic with current damage 0, I could create a line by going in edit. I could create a line. And look how the blood magic is taken into account. I have currently a 30 unconscious rating and 37 death rating. If now I choose a very classical absorb blow, it will autofill in its 2 blood damage. I have here 2 blood damage. And you see instead the blood damage is counting as an offset on the unconscious and death rating, so that you don't have to remember what's my 0, how many blood damage do I have currently. You just offset your maximums. So these are the main things to know as far as character management, character creation, and character management. There's many other things, but you have to play with it and to get used to it. So I let you have good games with it, and I'll see you for my next video that will show you how to make rolls, how to make the basics of combats. Goodbye. Have a good game.